long and hard. If you believe in something.
I am so excited. I have one of, let's say the number, 3 million women survive breast cancer.
Yeah.
And you, my dear, are one of those women.
Yes.
Miss Kim Franklin. How are you?
You know what? I'm doing really good.
Good.
In remission and just blessed to be here.
Yes, definitely. Well, I thank you so much for coming. We are doing a special episode for you. We are making pink lemonade today.
Yes.
So, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you're going to give us some information and just kind of tell your story about your journey. So, what year?
It was 2005. I found the lump around July 4th.
Oh, wow.
And because I had just given birth to my daughter.
Okay.
And she's like an arm baby. So I just had her. I'm like, oh, maybe, something with the pregnancy. And I went on and I found the lump, told my mom. My mom's a retired nurse now, but she was nursing me back then. And she's like, did you get your lump checked out? I said, no. She said, you need to call me back and get it checked out because August went, September went, and she's like, call the doctor and call me back with the time that you're supposed to go.
Right.
And so I did, and I had some mammograms done, and I had to sit there and wait for them to come back and forth for the pictures, and then they brought a radiologist down to do an ultrasound. I'm like, okay, something's going on. And in my own way, I knew something was going on, but you just don't want to think negative. You don't want to believe, you just be like, oh, that's not it. Something else, it's no big deal. But I had my mammogram on, Halloween of October 2005. And I found out like 2 weeks later that I had breast cancer.
Wow. So this is kind of around these times. Wow. So you coming means a lot. Because sometimes we are in that moment,
Yeah.
So you decided then what type of measure after you found out? What did you do?
Well, the nurse was saying that I needed to find a surgeon immediately. I was like, okay, so I called my mom because she's a nurse. And I think about it, I went by myself to the doctor because she called me like, oh, it's no big deal. I went by myself and that was hard. But I had to find a surgeon. A really good one, and then after that, once I met the surgeon, and then go forth and see what treatment I needed, they told me I only needed radiation. I'm like, oh, cool. So they removed the lump, like on that November 2005, the day before Thanksgiving. That's how I remember. And it was an outpatient surgery, so I was like, okay, cool. I had like 3 little kids. My oldest daughter, she was in 2nd grade, and I had my middle daughter. She was little. They were really little, and trying to figure all these things out. And my husband, his name is Elder Richard Franklin.
Yes.
And trying to figure out where to go and what to do. So they put the port in because I had to have a port because my veins, they'd be collapsing. So we did the port, and that was December of 2005. Then January 2006, I started chemo.
Okay.
They told me I need to have chemo. I'm like, but y'all said it was supposed to be radiation. It's like, no, you need to attack your cancer aggressively because you're young. I was 35 then.
Wow, 35.
Yeah, and now I'm 50, so it's a blessing. But yeah, so I had to do 8 rounds of chemo. And I'm like, when I first went to the chemo clinic, I'm like, oh, I'm ready to do this. They come in with all this gear, like the headgear, like
hazmat, right?
Yeah. I'm like,
yes.
Okay, but I don't have anything but y'all do. So I'm thinking like, okay, so, then they put the glass IV. I'm like, ain't that old and ancient? But it had the pink It was about this color pink liquid for the chemo for the first round. And I'm like, okay, so, after that I said, okay, my husband was there, my mom was there to support me at the chemo clinic. So went through that one first day. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be great. The next day I got so sick. I was so sick like the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I was tired. I was nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
Just is so much with my body that it was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't quite know what to do. I'm like, okay, what do we do about this? I don't understand. Because then, once the treatment went on, by the time I got ready to see the next treatment, because it was like every 2 weeks, I would feel good. Then the next day I have to go back and get another treatment and feel sick for like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But I did it. I did have to have a blood transfusion because I have anemia. It was really low. My blood count was low. But I did chemo from January all the way to around the end of May. Yeah.
Wow,
and,
so 5 months.
Yeah, I lost my hair. That's the first thing too. Hair will grow back, but as a woman, your hair is something special.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want nothing to make you look different than what you're used to. So, I was getting my hair done. My sister bought me a wig. She's like, I don't know why you buying these, I don't know why you pay to get your hair done, because your hair is going to come out. I'm like, no. She said, yes, it's going to come out. So after that, it did come out. And I was like, my hair is coming out. And my husband, he wears a bald face. So he's like, I said, honey, my hair's coming out. He's like, it's going to be okay. Calm down. And he ended up, I said, you know what? One day, I just got tired of all the hair shedding on my pillow and rubbing through. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shave my head. I'm sick of this stuff. So I went ahead and shaved my head. And actually, my husband did it. I told him, I said, honey, I'm sick of this hair. I need to shave. She's like, well, I'll do it. I said, okay. So, every time I went to the chemo clinic, every appointment, my husband and my mom was there.
God.
They were my support. My church, St. Paul Church of God in Christ, woo!
Yes.
They were a blessing to me. Bishop Washington,
he's a survivor himself.
Yes, he is.
So, definitely.
So it was, awesome to have somebody there spiritually, even though you feel like but it's like, it just messed me up. I was okay until the day of the actual surgery to remove the lump. I was okay. But they ran so many tests, and the tests got me emotional and broke me down. I'm like, I ain't supposed to be crying. Why am I crying? So, I just try to continue to keep my faith in God, to know that this is something that I had to go through. Some people go through just radiation and they're fine. Some people just have the lump removed. They're fine. They don't need no more treatment. But in my case, I needed radiation and the chemo.
Right.
So I did after the chemo, I got a break. And so after that, I did 30 days of radiation.
Wow.
And you have to do it the same day every week. You can't skip. They won't let you skip.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's side effects from that. You get burned and it's painful. Sometimes the cure is worse than the actual disease that you're fighting, because it's like you have to fight. And I was like, I gotta fight, for my girls, for my husband. I said, there are gonna be no other women raising my kids, because those are my babies. And two, also, I learned that as you're going through, your kids go through, they see their mom one way, and then when she's sick, they see her another way. My daughter told me, my oldest daughter, Taylor, she's like, Mom, I thought you were going to die. I said, no, baby, I'm not going to die. I said, I look like I might be able to die. Getting ready to die, but
I'm not going nowhere. Yes.
No, I'm not going anywhere. And it was just something, awesome that I had the support system. And then I could go to church, and they would call and check on me. The choir members, they bought me a fruit basket because I couldn't hardly eat anything because I had mouth sores, everything that
you could get.
Mm-hmm. I got.
Yep.
Everything.
And it's funny you say that, because that makes our lemon or our testimony even that much more powerful.
Yeah.
Where we can relate to that young lady on so many levels.
Yes.
Just think back, if you only had that one side effect, then you wouldn't have been able to reach the one that did have the other side effects. So we definitely, you and I both, because I've had the port too, we've learned to squeeze that lemon and understand that the process, those tests, there were many lemons to aid other people. So now we can relate to each other even. Because I appreciate you saying the clip about, I don't want nobody else to raise my son. So yes, that transparency is so true. And just sitting here and listening to you, I'm getting strength as well. It just is amazing.
It's a hill to climb. Some people are meant to go up the hill, around the hill, but sometimes you got to go through the hill.
Yeah.
And I remember Bishop Washington was teaching one day about, there's a tunnel and you're in it, but it's dark. But at the end of the tunnel, Jesus is there. God is there. Mm-hmm. So you may feel unsure about where you're taking your steps, but you're still going through that tunnel. And at the end of that tunnel, there is a light. There is a light. So I remember that, and God said He will never leave you nor forsake you. So
no, He won't. One of those scriptures, your key scripture, at Alicia shares her keys. We love key scriptures. So.
I love, it is from Isaiah chapter 41, verse 13. For I, the Lord, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee.
Fear not.
Fear not.
Yes. And so many times when you hear cancer, it's affiliated with the lemon.
Yeah.
So, but also it can be affiliated now with you and so many other women you're going to tell.
And I've met so many other women that have gone through chemo, some went through radiation, some had mastectomies. I mean, it's like I found out that our journey may be the same as far as getting healed or being in remission, but we may have traveled different paths to get there.
Yes, definitely. Well, I thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. Like I said, we made pink lemonade just for you.
That's so sweet. Yeah. I thank you.
And also, you get an award, honey. You are still standing. Alicia Shares Her Keys believes in you, and in 2020, we have showcased you. So you be sure to tell the world that you got your award for still standing.
Yes.
And also, there is always a key here at Alicia Shares Her Keys. So come back, educate women and men about the mastectomies and knowing their body and feeling around, right? So you're key here. So we're going to have you back definitely to educate others. So thank you so much, Miss Kim. I love you.
I love you too.
And we've grown up, so this is like home for us together. So thank you so much. And once again, everybody, you know what to do. Squeeze the day.
I see miracles. I see miracles. I see miracles happening for you. If you believe in something long and hard, if you believe in something